Welcome back. Let's continue with 4.3, shall we? All right. Akira, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their effort with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for the signs of crystal hoarding, and the Nike, they mean to nip any sudden attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set by the ambassador. Ah, crap. Give me 1 second. Okay, never mind. Fucking bag. Okay. For the Guardians' part, the Populars have sent word that a vessel bearing the Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yansa. Okay, this bug is fucking okay. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his views that you should be on hand in this crucial juncture. Okay, I cut that bug. According to the letter, Yatsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out her rest of her days in Doma, according to the ambassador's reasons to honor the agreement, of course. Second. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Sashi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave, then Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Let's go. Oh, hello there. Oh, never mind. There we go. How's it going, buddy? We have spared no effort to increase the guard at the uh, every segment here in Yansa. The Red Kojin will trouble us no more. On that, you have my word. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Yes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. We know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Hien himself. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alphino has had his purse string in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. Well, Alphino's a fucking idiot. Ah, I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Good gods, is he alright? Confirmed to bed and crumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it's high time he received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yatsuyu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Kira, Alize, shall we?
Open wide now.
Please to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink. What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman! I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
That make they make a convincing pair, do they not? Or on first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her model grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events! I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him, you couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man, with the way he charges through life, uh, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted discrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the facts remain. He will never again be the warrior he once was. He was given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yatsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yugiri, of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So what makes you so sure? I've been spying on Yatsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would portray her courage for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cup uh, board and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami, a child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me, and everyone else I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yatsuyu and will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front uh, of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she as good as fastened the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude the business with to sue you first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Guardians are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with to sue you. Even after weeks of surveillance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yatsuyu's conditions was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Gotsetsu's affection for her. The scurf will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. We will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. All right. Do. Bum, 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 dum. Ba-da-da-dum, bum. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Can you imagine Yatsuyu playing with balls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person anymore. Shall we wait here then? Lord Hien would not be long. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She is nowhere to be found. But, what? But the Guardians will be landing in a matter of moments. If she fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scurrying the streets as we speak, but it is possible Tsuyu has left the enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord. I do not rightly know. I think yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her on the boat. White as new fallen snow it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No, no, no. I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. It would seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No one can come of this. No good can come of this. Let's see. I'll just do. Her memory must have returned. Why else would she run? Without Tsuyu, I cannot see how the prisoner exchange, or indeed the peace process at large, can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. It seems Tsuyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility of her disappearance for all of this lies with me, but I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hien. Now, as before, let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is heading, so we have best divide our forces. I will take Kusakari and its surroundings. Elfino, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminus. Akira, forgive me, but I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzakuka Manor. One of the Namazu may well have seen our query. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff, and hope the kami smile upon our efforts. Ooh. Bam. Where is it? Oh my god. Unusual pale skin. Yes, yes. I saw the woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had crossed the shallows east of here and was headed in a easterly direction. For the most part, her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. Welcome to Yuzaku Manor. Yes, yes. If there is anything you care to know, you need only a pale-skinned woman. I have seen no such traveler. I am sorry to say, most sorry, scaly-skinned Namazu. On the other hand, we have in abundance. Bum, bum, bum. You see no signs of Yatsuyu to the north. Perhaps she's somewhere farther off to the northeast. Still no signs. Yatsuyu, perhaps she is yet farther to the northeaster. East. No, northeast. Yatsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground is a short distance to the north. You spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yatsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. Akira, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly not. Save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alice has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Heian here shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Yazuka Manor? Any signs of our missing guest? Go towards Namai by the Kami. If the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry, Yagiri, and I will check the paddles. The village square is yours.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I... What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead!
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Heian, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then... It's all true. I'm sorry! I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
That's really, really. I can't explain it. Just I feel bad for her, though. Even though she did horrible things, she forgotten everything. I can't forget what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Asami. I'm not scared of her, not anymore. All of this over a persimmon. I fail to consider how she might endanger herself, knowing she has the mind of a child. I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. I don't know why people is so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. Oh god. God damn it. She's just trying to make Gosetsu happy. Oh my god. That's so sad. Anyways. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. Ha! They say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminus, and our meeting with the ambassador. Alfna and Alize should still be there conducting their search. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. I was sure Yatsuyu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosetsu's craving of seasonal fruit. Do we have to stay here long? We'll be waiting for... He'll be waiting for his fruit. Lord Hien informed us of the uproar at Nomai. Thank the 12 you found Yatsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. 'Tis time to meet with the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yatsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
I knew better than to trust Sashi, but that was a dirty trick. Still unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matters of Tsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yagiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alfno. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence. Most like we can discuss it upon our return. Oh my god, you could have said something right now. Oh well, Alfno's fucking stupid. I hope to see you is to become an official Doman citizen. But what then? Will they keep her hidden here forever, or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst her countrymen? So it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I might hope Yatsuyu's presence here will not present further problems. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, no, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Help! 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 Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu! A font of misery! You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this!
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugani and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Damn. Just gotta say, those parents fucking deserved it. So Asashi got his way in the end, and at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Yetsuyu hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I keep asking myself when it could have happened at the meeting with her parents. Perhaps, but then why would she? Nay, there is not to be gained for such conjecture. Okay. So Yatsuyu has returned to the bosom of the empire. After all, I cannot say I am surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Sashi's aim in all of this. We have recovered the Nairus remains and will hold the ceremony anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yatsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, not the least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of contract, we were bound to surrender Yatsuyu into the Guardian's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asashi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution is the main structure of Chaosrum Fluminous. is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal, while we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by any occupying force. It is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there is his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have any unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Saki Boon, on the other hand, would require only a single run and leave us far less vulnerable on the water, assuming, of course, Washoe can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Washoe and his pirates before, and I won't be alone. Will I, Akira? I suppose not. Well, that was enthusiastic. Were you hoping to join Yagiri and Alphino on their sulking mission by any chance? I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common bleh. Come now, Yugiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat with them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphina, and I shall be your about our task. And we should be on our way to Anakoro. Time is short, and Washoe may take some convincing. You know what? I'm going to probably... Because we have... Okay, so we have, like, one more quest to do. I'm going to make this a very, very long episode. It's gonna be probably a longest episode ever I made, but whatever. Down, 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 down. Now, there is a phase I did not expect to see. What brings noble lord of Doma into the company of pillage rats such as we? If you've come to offer domain chains to place of Guardian ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. And what fine subjects you would make with your fleet at our disposal. Our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your featly, but to quest your aid once more. Mayhap you are confused. Doman's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save others. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistles. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all of this? Profit? May you always think in such short-sighted terms. Have you even heard of doing the right thing? Have you even heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithe, you sail in peace. Deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning. But we are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mrs. Alize. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there is more to be said. According to our two records recovered after the liberation relatives of your domain-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hien. The losses we suffered at the Guardian's hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well, the Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. So we have mended her. She yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts, the waterline rises. Those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you will do me a favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman Lords are not adverse to getting their robes wet. Not this, Doman Lord. If we each expect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a thrice. This is the spirit. That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quick Escape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ihanashi. And I thought I had a knack for parlaying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Do 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 do. Ba 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 da da ba da da. The upper, upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack uh, in one of the planks. For once, I'm actually glad the Yagiri isn't here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Heian to inspect his hall. The water is so invigorating. I have not swum in the Ruby Sea since but I should be concentrating on the task at hand. Yes, you should. You see no signs of damage here. All right, cool. Oh shit. I'm the shipwright, apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. Oh, on the port side, near the bow, you say? All right, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in the gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I am happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. Your Lord Heian, the captain sent you to inspect the hull. Kami, have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Ha, 'tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares our lady? Is she shipworthy? Captain, we've found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts, as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he cheats... Oh, wait. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who joined the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it, I see it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot. But he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there is a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Oh god, my throat. My throat is... Ah! Let me drink something. Ah! Aha! Ooh. Okay. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more. Be it in Yansa or out on the Ruby Sea, we have a duty to ensure that in Hanashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. Bye-bye. Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Yes. Afno tells me they had a little trouble finding a suitable route out of the castrum, but he won't say much more than that. If I didn't know better, I'd think he was hiding something, though I can't imagine what. We found the castrum tower unoccupied and betraying no signs of recent activity. Only shadows and echoes waited us there. Afno seemed oddly reluctant to linger. but I saw not to concern us. The castrum was deserted, quite deserted. 'Twas a simple matter to plot the surest path out, hence our swiftness. It seems Yugiri and Afno completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the one river. Now we have no but to attend the exchange and pray to the kami. These precautions were unnecessary. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. He will see they arrived to the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank, not far from the castrum. All right. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. All right. Like cramp. Ow. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Primary agreement. Oh shoot. Your party is assembled then? Aye, and are ready for what lies ahead. I trust lest there be no any confusion, though. The tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Shashi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home, Yugiri. You are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sight of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits at the Castrum loading docks. She will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it. Ah, shit. Oh well.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion. Welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning!
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run? Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Gastrum Fluminous is accessible now. Alright. We shall continue in the next episode. Till then, fare thee well.